You know, when the first 10 minutes of this movie happened, I knew I was in for something special. Man, did I have no idea. So I, Tonya is the biopic about Tonya Harding's life, and of course many people already know about the incident with Nancy Kerrigan and about the bashing him with her knees, and many people suspect that was Tonya Harding, but this movie has so much more to it, and I don't want to dive deep into the film, because if there's any of you out there like me who haven't seen it, I highly recommend you going out to see it. Honestly, I am so disappointed that this did not come around me last year, because if it had, this more than likely would have, no, not more than likely, it would have been in my top 10 list. It might have even been my number 1. From the dialogue to the performances to how I, Tonya is filmed, I loved every single second of this movie. The entirety of this movie feels like it could have come out in the 1980s. The cinematography is gorgeous. I mean, it honestly felt like they were using actual film. I believe I saw some film grain every once in a while. And the great thing about that is that honestly, every director out there is trying to film with the highest quality visuals possible. And that's not so much a bad thing, but it is always nice to go back to the grittiness and the dirtiness that was using film reels, and I, Tonya just looks great, and it's all the better for it. And honestly, we gotta dive right into the performances and the dialogue and the screenplay, because that is where this film thrives. Margot Robbie in this film is a complete revelation. We already knew that Margot Robbie was a star in the making, that she's a phenomenal actress. What she does as Tonya Harding, while I can't say that Tonya Harding, as in real life, as in this movie, is the most likable person you will find, the fact is, the film does a good job at just setting you up with this person, with this individual, and just being baffled with everything that was thrown at her in her life. And in all honesty, to go up there with Margot Robbie, Allison Jennings, her performance as Tonya Harding's mother in this film is every bit as good. In fact, I think it might be a little bit better than Margot Robbie's performance. And I am praying and I am hoping that these two actresses win the Oscars for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars, because their work was so great. And this movie, even though it does have some dark, really dark undertones, it's really funny. Not so much funny in the disaster artist sense, more like Three Billboards. I mean, the entirety of I, Tonya, it doesn't have a lot of humor in it, but when the humor is there, it's golden. But it all does come back to the screenplay. Honestly, the screenplay in I, Tonya, I would not be surprised if it was written by Martin Scorsese. I know that's not the case, but it definitely feels like it. The screenplay in this film, this entire story, the way they filmed it, it must have taken inspiration from some of Scorsese's films. In fact, I think you could probably say that I, Tonya is the Goodfellas of sports movies. It is that excellent. Guys, I, Tonya was a complete surprise to me in the best way possible. The performances are revolutionary, the way it's filmed is something I'm a fan of, and the screenplay is one of the best screenplays I have seen in such a long time. I, Tonya is brilliant, it's bold, it may not be for everybody, but I think everybody should see it at least once because it's important. And guys, I, Tonya is suit worthy. But as always, it is what you guys say that matters. So have you had a chance to see I, Tonya? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you all have. Oscar bait movies, they never come around my area early. But that's okay. If you've already seen I, Tonya, tell me your thoughts down below. And if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.